Hey everyone, it's Sue. Welcome back. I've got a mess on my desk. This is left over from the Friday Night Live the other night, and I've started work on a new journal using my digital kit, Elegant Correspondence. So this is just some of the pages out of it. So I just thought, rather than just pack it all up and put it in a container until I'm ready to use it again or work on it again, I'm just gonna have a bit of a play today and just see what direction I'm headed with it. So I started the cover. So this is a cover which I've still got to finish obviously yet. I want to sew around it. I want to get a fabric closure. I'm just not sure. I want to do the closure a little bit different, I'm thinking, than what I normally do. So that I'll put that to the side at the moment, but it's just got all that beautiful script and calligraphy and postage stamps and all that sort of thing, which this kit is all part of, and of course roses, because I love roses. So so that's the cover. I've folded some of the papers for signatures, and then I just got it all messed up. I cut out and put together the envelopes out of the kit, so that's those there. So I'll be utilising those. I've actually done them in 250 GSM cardstock. I probably could have done them in something a little bit more lightweight, but it's not going to add too much bulk to the journal. I have backed all the tags. I will sew these as well, and probably add some of these labels and things from the kit as well. So I'm just putting these all to the side for the minute, and then I've grabbed a few extra papers. So I want to do some stamping and creating some tags and pockets and cards and that type of thing in line with this kit. So I do have this Stamperia calligraphy stamp set, which I thought would be really good, and I've got these as well, these kits which are in my shop. So this is a Ciao Bella, I think it's the Muse, yeah, Muse, Muse, that one, and Write Like It Matters. I just thought that they would go really well with this theme, as this stamp set from Darkroom Door would too. So that's where I'm sort of heading. So basically today it's just a bit more of prep for the journal, and then I'm going to, on the Friday Night Live and some of my videos, I'm going to bring you along with the construction of putting it all together and creating the journal from scratch. So I will put the link down below for the live where I started this, if you did want to go and have a look, and also where you can find some of these stamps and that. So I'm just going to fiddle and probably put these signatures together fully today how I want them. I want to add a couple of coffee-dyed envelopes as well, and probably a few tags. So speed up the video and while I put all these together, and I'll be back shortly. So I've put together the 2 signatures that I'm going to be putting into the journal, and I've added some smaller pieces and your coffee dyed envelope, just a few different papers, and I did the same in here. So I think this is going to be my first, I'm not sure, I don't know, I like both of them. I'll see what they look like in the cover when I get the cover completely finished. So they're the 2 signatures. Now I'm going to put these 2, I'm going to sew these tags together, and I'm going to put them in there as well, and I just want to hinge them. So I have got this cut off piece here from some of the printables, and I'm just going to glue them down, and then I'm going to sew them so they will actually go into the spine, be sewn into the spine of the journal as well. So all I do, really easy, is I just use scraps. Doesn't matter how wide it is. I probably would normally make this a little bit thinner, normally about 1 inch I normally make it. Might actually try and trim that. I'll trim this piece while I'm going as well. It's a really crooked edge there. I've got everybody home again too, and there's chatter and noise and all sorts happening. If you're wondering what all that background noise is. So I've cut that strip down to just 1 inch. I don't know, that's just something that, the size that I prefer. I'm just going to ink the edges. And then I'm going to just glue them and use them as a hinge. I'm just getting that white edge off there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. I'm not measuring it or anything. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the edge. I'll just try and do half and half. Oh. And then I'm going to add glue to this bit here. So I just like to leave a tiny little gap there. Probably not quite that much, but just enough so that it can fold nicely. And then I'm just going to fold this up, and then I'll trim off the excess. I'm just going to glue that down. And there we have a hinge. Really, really easy. And then what I'll do is with my sewing machine, I will sew there. I'll wait for the glue to dry, just to strengthen that as well. And then I'll put that in the journal. Okay, so that's one. I'll do this other lot here. And I'll glue here as well. It's a really easy method, especially if you're needing to glue smaller sheets of paper together to add to your journals. If you're someone that doesn't like the writing going, you know, instead of horizontal, if you don't like it going, if you don't like it going up and down and you want the writing to go horizontal, you can hinge your note papers together the same way. a good way to use up your scraps as well. I've done this with fabric as well before, so that works really well too. And then we have the other one. Which you might ink along all the tags here, just to bring in a bit of colour. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the sewing machine and sew these hinges, just to add that bit of strength. And I'll probably sew some of the tags that I've put together, and then I'll come back and we might start doing just a little bit of decorating. Have a look at my signatures, and if I'm happy with them, we might actually sew them in. Actually, no, I can't, because I've got to finish the cover. That's right, I've got to work out a closure for the cover first. So we'll do a little bit of decorating for today, and on the tags, and make a few bits and pieces there. And then I just need to have a think about what I want to do with the closure of the journal. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine and do that, and I'll be back. Well, that was a lot of sewing. I went and just did a little bit of sewing on these labels from the kit too, just to add. I mean, obviously I'm not going to leave the threads hanging fully like that, but I just did it on a full strip. Originally I was thinking I was going to sew around the full label, and then I thought again, because that was a lot of sewing. But I've just added, just for a little bit of texture and interest. As I use them, I'll cut all the threads off, or trim the threads down a bit anyway. So I've done all those. I've done all these tags. I'm yet to ink. I'll distress and ink them all. So they've all been backed. And then I decided that I wanted to add some stitching to the envelopes as well. So I probably could have done that before I glued them together, but I haven't lost much by just sewing on the edges there. So I've done all those, and I did all these little ones as well. And then I did threads everywhere. These tags that I want to add in the signatures, which I'm going to just do now. And then I also sewed around the cover. So the cover's sewn around now, and then I'm just going to work out what I'm going to do with the closure. So I've had a bit of a think about it, and I think I know what I want to do. I'm just going to ink that little bit there. And then I'm trimming these and putting these in the signatures. Just trim that off. Now I may even, before I sew these signatures in, I may even rearrange some of these papers. I'm not sure, but just for now, we'll pop this in here. So you've just got to make sure when you do this that you actually get it in, get it stitched in. So I'll probably just put it in the center there. And then I'll put this one in as well. Oh, I just love that image there. I don't know. I'm just putting it wherever at the moment. I'll just put it here. Okay. So they're pretty much my signatures, what I want for the main pages, and then I'm going to add flips and pockets and tags and all that sort of thing. Now with the cover, while I was sewing there for hours, well, it wasn't hours, but it felt like hours. So normally I call this my signature range. So I like to do these type of fold over covers with this closure. Now I may use this same closure, but I just didn't want to do fabric on this one. I don't know why. I just thought I'd try and do something a little bit different. And then I thought, well, I've got this bag of leather scraps here. So I'm just wondering if I do the same sort of strap, but if I piece some leather together. Not even sure what. I think there's just 3 colours maybe. And 3 or 4 colours. So they all match really. I'm wondering whether just to do a, just like a crazy patchwork sort of strip maybe. I don't know. So I could get away with using all those colours. This one's probably a little bit light, but I do have that light colour in there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some strips at about 1 1/4. I normally do this, the band for the closure. So what I might do is I'm going to get my ruler and my rotary cutter out and just cut some 1 1/4 inch strip. All right, so I'm just really randomly, I'm going to just get a straight edge. Cut 1 1/4. How am I going to do this? So I'm just going to go through, cut some of these different coloured leathers, and then come back, and then we might try and piece some together. So I've cut quite a few 1 1/4 inch wide pieces of the leather, and then when I was packing it away I found this cool number on one of the pieces, so I'm going to put that on there on the strap. So I've just got to think how I'm going to do that, and I'm just thinking I might, some of them I'm going to put like I like the look of the back of this, and they're all different colours. That's the white. So whether I put the back of that one too because it's white. I mean, I could even ink this up a little bit just to tone that starkness down a bit. So that's probably not too bad. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to sew all these together just in one big strip, and then probably cut them again and sew them again. I need about 20, actually it'll be about 18 inches because I won't need to fold. Normally I fold this over. I'm going to have to though, aren't I, if I'm going to put that in there. Okay, I really need to think about this and what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do though first is I'm going to go and I'm going to sew them all together and then probably recut them and re-sew them just so it's really scrappy, and then come back and have a look at it and see what we've actually got. All right, so I have sewn together that strap. It's not exactly what I had visioned. It's threads everywhere, but I don't mind it. I really love this here. So the cover, just trying to work out, just need to fold where the signatures are going so I can picture this properly. one signature, and then the second signature will go here. So I don't want like full-on definite folds, but I just need to get a bit of an idea of where this will be sitting. I think I've done that wrong. So about there, about there, and about I'm just lightly creasing it. Okay, now what have I done with the strap here? I'm going to sew, I think it's too much with all the threads hanging, so I'm going to sew that, but I have double stitched it. So I've stitched it from the front and I've stitched it from the back, so it's not going to pull apart. One thing I would say is if you're going to sew with leather, because this creamy coloured leather is really quite thick compared to the others, I don't know whether you can see the difference there, get a leather needle. I used to have a leather needle, but I couldn't find it, so I've just used a normal needle, and it was a bit of an effort. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm going to somehow attach it, and it will just wrap around, so it all sort of blends in. It's not exactly what I visioned, but I think it'll be right once I get it all together. Now I probably don't need that full length, but because the journal will expand, and because I'm not sure how I'm actually going to attach this strap at the moment, I'm going to keep it that length, because I can always cut off what I don't need, and I'll use it in another strap or something at some stage. So that's what I'm thinking. I really need to go away and have a think about it. I'm not sure whether I'm going to put a topper of some sort on the front of the journal. My brain hurts from thinking. I really did want that to be showing there. So I think I'm actually going to cut some of this off and then wrap that around and attach that somehow to the cover. I really like that. Lots to think about. Too much to think about today. I need to go and have a coffee, I think, and sit and look at it for a little while. I'm going to finish that today, and I'm going to come back in a future video, and we'll put the signatures, sew them into the journal. I need to actually get this strap sorted first, because I sew this to the cover, so I need to do that before I actually sew the signatures in. So I will go and have a think about how I'm going to, attach this. Am I going to use one of the closures that I like to use, one of these, or am I going to come up with something else? Is this too... I'm just worried that this is too heavy looking for the journal cover. I don't know. I don't mind it. It's different, and it's once I get some sort of metallic closure or something to it, I think it'll all sort of work out quite nicely. All right. I could sit here for hours and just ponder over that, but I will be back in another video, hopefully very soon. If not, I will be picking up with this in my Friday night lives. If you're interested in seeing this journal come together, we go live Friday nights, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Brisbane, Queensland time. So we'd love for you to join in. We're a group of mad women that have a bit of fun and catch up, so we'd love to see you there. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I hope my process and the way my brain works isn't too painful for you to watch. I just think that it's good to see how people think about things and put things together. So as I've said before, I'm going to do more of these videos. I find these really nerve-wracking because I can sort of fiddle around a little bit sometimes, but it's what I do. So Thanks again. Hope you're all doing really well. And until next time, I hope you get a little bit of creative time in. See you soon. Bye-bye.